Well, it is officially 2020 now, 2019, long gone, in the books now. I really wasn't gonna do like a review video of what happened. I know a lot of people were doing it, like it's a popular thing, and resolutions and all these goals and stuff. I wasn't gonna do any of that, guys, but my friend Jazz at Alternative Smallholding tagged me in a video thing that she did, and it's a review of 2019. Now I'm going to do it because I like Jazz a ton. She's awesome, just great people, and really she was one of the first people to notice me in the community when I started posting videos. Very early on she gave us a cool shout out. So for Jazz and Rue and the beardy dude, of course, I am going to go ahead and hit this video up and give you a little bit of a review of my 2019. So 2019 really turned out to be a very challenging year for me. Nothing went right for me. We had, well, many of you know, because you guys all had the same problems. There was like flooding, and there was rain and cold all in the spring, so anything that you wanted to plant had to wait until later in the year, which really messed with our length of growing season. Everything that was going to be a spring garden basically became a fall garden because it just happened that way. And you can't control these things sometimes. They just happen, right? Nature is nature. You cannot defy it. It does what it wants to do. So a lot of us had those same struggles at the beginning of the year. So 2019, I would say, was probably one of my worst years as far as anything in the garden goes. So while the garden was not very successful last year, one thing was very successful last year, and that's something I shared a lot with you guys. If you followed our channel over the summer, you noticed that we were posting a lot of like family type videos. We did a lot of out and adventuring as a family this summer. Something we probably didn't do a lot of last summer, and it was really good because of my work schedule being out of town quite a bit this past year. Any chance we had to do something fun as a family, we went out and did. So we had a lot of really awesome family moments in 2019. Hey! Come here!
And then we found came back.
Mint chocolate chip. In front. There you go. You picked your first tomato! What is your problem with these suckers?
You're just drinking flavored spit.
But it's delicious flavored spit, right?
Frogs again, come on now. Bam! Do it again.
You gotta catch me first. I have to constantly remind myself that they're little, they're just small, right? And I want them to experience the garden, and I want them to always enjoy it. I have to remember constantly that this is their way of enjoying it. While it's not helpful to me and it's frustrating when I'm trying to go a certain direction in a certain time frame, I also have to cherish the fact that they want to dig in the dirt. Because their want to dig in the dirt now could possibly mean they'll want to help garden later on.
1, 2,
3.
Happy Oh, snap.
What do you think, Anthony?
This is awesome! Knock on the window. Hello! What would it be like today?
I'm a child.
Plain toast.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color?
I think my favorite memory of 2019 was when we went to Frankenmuth. And we go to Frankenmuth. It's like a German town here in Michigan. Everything's German themed, right? So you go there and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna get some, you know, some good brats, you know, stuff like that. You know, good German fare type food. Fried chicken's a huge thing, but they have it, and it's really good usually. And we went this past year, and we got some bratwurst at this one bratwurst stand. That's normally great. We normally like eating there. It's one of our favorites, and it was bad. It was so bad that my wife, at the end of the day, just would not let it go, and that was probably one of my favorite moments that I captured of 2019. I don't know why. It cracks me up. I still, you know, think back to it, and I laugh, and I just get a chuckle out of it every time. How was surprise day away? Did you like it? Did you have any fun?
I had the worst brat of my life.
Okay, besides the worst brat of your life, was it fun?
Yeah, until that brat.
Come on, just take the brat out of it all. No brat. Was it a good time?
Well, then they forgot my fries.
Come on! You're not making this. It's supposed to be fun. This was supposed to be a good time away.
Okay, my favorite part.
Was everything but the brat. So the best crop that we grew in 2019 was what I grew right here in this bed, and I made a good video about it, all about it, and it was multicolored spinach. It was Chinese multicolored spinach. It's like an edible amaranth. It was so pretty to look at. It was this variegated leaf, red and green, just really rich colors in it, but it was so flavorful as like a spinach type green. And we ended up using it quite a bit, and it's grew like crazy for us. We harvested a lot of it, and that was probably the most productive green we had in all of 2019. So for me, the biggest challenge that I had in doing any of this gardening in 2019 was the fact that I kept getting sent out of town for work, and it was always like right at the prime time to do something out in the yard or in the garden to really make it successful, and so I missed out on a lot of really good opportunities to get the garden where I wanted it to be. Dun dun dun! Yeah, that's right. Another trip out of town. Gah! Right in the middle of the best planting week of the year. So traveling is part of my job. It's just something that comes with the territory of what I do. I program robots in the industrial field, so I kind of chase work wherever it goes. I kind of have to go, which is part of why I get into all this homesteading and gardening stuff, is that I want to try to helicopter. That's something country folk probably don't get a ton of. So anyways, part of why I want to get into gardening and doing more of this and raising my own food is that I see an opportunity to get myself in a different position to where maybe I don't have to travel as much for work or at all, and somewhat making a business out of what we do here would also help bring in a bunch of extra income to really get me into a goal of being able to cut back on travel and possibly take jobs that are you know, maybe not as lucrative, but because we'll have another form of income that'll provide me those different opportunities. That's why we're doing some of this stuff. So what was my worst crop of 2019? Well, almost all of them. So I kind of made this video at one point in time because I was being very honest and open that I was struggling really hard this year with my garden. So I made this video that kind of had like this epic opening. Hi, I'm Josh. This is the Citystead, and well, Yeah, that kind of summed up everything about my garden, how it went. I think we had 2 or 3 zucchinis the whole year. So, I mean, that tells you a lot right there, because, you know, Zerly can grow zucchini by the buckets full. And, yeah, we only had a couple. We had a few. Amaranth did great for us, and that was about it. Like, we didn't have too many other things do good. So I would say everything was kind of my bad crop this year. Especially, let's just pick one and say cucumbers. Cucumbers were awful this year. Early in the year of 2019, I had kind of set out to learn how to ferment tea and make some kombucha. Never went well. In fact, the first couple times were awful. And then at one point in time, I taught Mr. Man, the middle child, how to say kombucha wrong. And we were saying kombucha. Kombucha! 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 So it was going really bad, and actually I kind of just abandoned it because I would start it, and then I swear every time I started a batch, they were like, bring, hey Josh, we got a job for you out in Iowa, or out in, you know, Indiana, or where else they sent me, Kentucky. And every time without fail I tried to start that kombucha. That is what happened to me. I got sent out of town, and by the time I got back it was already like vinegar.
Can I taste it? Can I taste it?
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. No, you cannot taste this, buddy. So that was a huge epic fail, and then I kind of got discouraged and I just gave up trying. Yeah. And our new goals for 2020, it is going to be to kick this garden's behind. So I plan on making sure that I get a lot of stuff in. We get it in early. We built a lot of infrastructure last year because that was easier to do than tend the garden. So we had a lot more infrastructure than we did last year. A lot more garden space, a lot more vertical garden areas. So I'm really excited about the garden for 2020. My goal is to just kick the garden's rear end. Just going to grow all of the things, as Jazz would say. Another one of the big goals for 2020 is the garlic business I kind of started. Actually selling some of that garlic that I'm growing, which is all over my Citystead now. I had some time in the fall, and I had been playing with this idea for a little bit of time now. Probably over a year or so. And I just decided this year, you know, it's the perfect time. I'm home from work in the late fall. It's cold outside. I can't do any of the real gardening, but I can plant garlic, and I can try to start myself a farm business. So one of the goals of 2020 is to actually realize the end goal of planting all that garlic, and it's to take it out to a market and be able to maybe sell some of it and make somewhat of a little bit of a profit off of the garlic. Another big goal for 2020, I introduced earlier, actually the end of the year, beginning of this year, I guess. I don't even remember when that video came out, but we are for sure getting bees on the Citystead. So I'm really excited to learn more about bees. I know a lot. I've read a lot of the books. My brother, my parents are all beekeepers. So I've been wanting to do it, and I'm getting the chance now. I'm really pumped about it. So awesome. 2020 is going to be the year of garlic and bees at the Citystead. All right, well, that's it. I got to try to make it really quick because I don't want this video to be like 40 minutes or so. Because let's be honest, nobody wants to watch a 40-minute video. Especially if you've been watching all year. You've seen half of these moments already. So with that being said, as always, I'll see you guys in the very next video. Remember, be bold and grow bold. See ya.